with a quarterback like Dylan, especially a young quarterback like Dylan, what role do you guys as an offensive line play in helping him get comfortable? Obviously, providing the blocking and everything, but in what other ways maybe can you guys help him acclimate, help him get more settled in?
Yeah, the best thing we can do is do our job and do our job well. I mean, that's what allows the quarterback to stay on time and stay in the pocket and see things and get the ball pushed. Speaking from the pass game, in everyday life, like I think the communication and the relationship between the center and the quarterback is of paramount importance. And them being on the same page, identifying things the same way, and in those fractional seconds we have at the line of scrimmage, being able to ID things and be in lockstep.
Ways have you seen that starting five start to gel together, especially because I think the Patriots game was the first time all year that you guys had the same starting five in back-to-back weeks?
Yeah, I like that starting five. I feel like I'm a better coach with that starting five. I really have a lot of confidence in these guys and the way that they're working, those five guys that started that game, and in their abilities. So I'm always excited to have that group going, and the way they're working in practice, the way they're communicating. It's getting better every day, as it should.
Field, do you see it like play out more so in like, I don't know, like the way you maybe pick up stunts and stuff like that, the slide protections? Like how do you kind of see that manifest on game day?
Yeah, I think that and the nonverbal communication and just making sure they're on the same page. Every rep we get together is gold. Making sure we see the game through Poe's eyes, and the communication allows us to get there. And then what we're able to see pre and immediately post snap, those are the keys where we've got to make sure we're doing a great job. I think for any offensive lineman, you talk about AAA, alignment, assignment, and adjustment. And, of course, they know the playbook. But the ability to see things and process things in real time allows them to make the adjustment necessary by what the defense does.
You've been around and working with Tommy for a little while now. What traits do you think he has that can make him a good play caller?
Tommy is he'll probably be pissed I say this, but he's a football savant. Like, I was in my third year coaching in the NFL when I was his age. And, he is such an old soul with so much football knowledge. The way that he processes information in this game, the way he thinks this game is so next level. I'm amazed by him daily. So I've enjoyed my working relationship with him since February, and I've learned a ton of football from Tommy.
Do you see him still kind of getting back to where he needs to be, right? Because he missed so much time. It's been start and stop for him. Do you see him still, I don't know, struggling, but getting back where he needs to be?
Yeah, I think I'm always shocked at his ability to kind of come back and make playing right tackle in the National Football League seem like riding a bike. And it's always good to have him back from a pass pro standpoint. I'm sure there's something he's trying to kick the rust off of still, but it's not real noticeable, to be honest with you. I think he's playing good football. Got a lot of trust in him, and he's another one that thinks this game incredibly well. And the relationship with him and Wyatt and their communication and lack thereof at times, that they still get on the same page. That's what years of playing this position, reps on top of reps, allows you to have.
Tommy being a savant like that, how does that manifest itself, like during a meeting or whatever? Like what does he do that shows you that?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many offensive coordinators in the National Football League that think about the pass game and the pass game only. His ability to really process protection and any potential issues, his ability to see things from a run blocking, a leverage standpoint, the creativity he has in the game plan, those are the things that come up meeting to meeting. And, like everybody, I mean, there's a lot of ways to get to Chicago, right? And a lot of them work. So we've got different histories. And so it's great to talk through those differences and land on the one that's right for the Browns right now.
He was adamant about wanting to stay, not wanting to get traded. And then he's grateful that he didn't get traded, and he talked about being here long term. Just how valuable has he been for you? And, this line is kind of looks like it might be in some transition going forward. How valuable would it be to have a guy like him around?
I think all four of those vets have given me so much confidence in what we're doing. They've cleared up things in the way things have been done in the past, the way things have called. And so I really think those four old heads have provided tremendous value for me, the offensive unit, and this football team. So I think having guys like Wyatt Teller in the building are just outstanding. I was glad he didn't do the same interview as Dave, but I'm glad Dave's ready to be here too. My kids showed me that video the other night. God bless y'all. Yeah.
The Jets defense in the wake of them trading away Quinnen and Sauce, what are you seeing from the Jets?
Yeah, Mary Kay, I still it's an NFL defense. Those are two outstanding football players. They're as blue gets in my eyes. But like what we're preparing the guys for right now is the structure of the defense, the combination of Steve Wilkes and AG, which those are two great coordinators in this league. And so really preparing them for the structure and then trying to make sure we're studying the guys we will play against and putting an emphasis there.
You talked about the adjustment part of playing as a cohesive unit, and that I thought about how post snap disguised with coverages are talked about all the time. But in terms of the trenches, just what makes it so difficult sometimes with adjusting to what the front might do post snap.
Yeah, so I think like specifically as you talk about the Jets, these guys we pretty much could put on a chalkboard where they're going to align, right? They looks the same at the start of the play, much like what you're talking about with coverages. A lot of people want to show shell and play one high. This defense is going to look the same, and then those subtle movements or the subtle pressures, those are the things that are such a big deal if we're not connected and not on the same page. If we don't understand where our combos are going, and certainly when you bring motion into the equation in the run game, or when you bring cross the ball motion and protection, those are the things we have to do an unbelievable job with our eyes to get any communication necessary out pre and post snap.
Had a good amount of success, but there's been kind of, it feels like peaks and valleys in the run game. Where do you think you guys are from a run game perspective?
It was awesome to have the bye week, and to go back. I think before you can really talk about where you're going, you better study where you've been and what was good and what wasn't. And so I think we have an identification of schemes that Q runs really well and that we block really well. And we're going to lean into those heavily. And there's some more components that through our self-study, you're like, hey, we need to incorporate that more. And another thing for us is having said back. And, you talk about having a receiver back. Why does that help the run game? Well, it just does because of his physical presence. And so obviously he's going to help us this week in the pass game, but his presence in the run game is going to be felt as well.
Wide receivers on like the insert motion and the blocking kind of techniques and schematics of that.
Yeah, I think through Tommy's creativity and some of the things we've done in our past, we have good ways to get them involved in the run game to make sure we have hats on hats. I think CO does a wonderful job. Chad O'Shea does a wonderful job of getting those guys to understand like this or this based on the structure of the defense, this or this based on the post-snap movement, and to get them in the right place to go get those hats on those skinnies.
How excited are you for the changes that you guys have installed over the bye week and what you might see out there on the field on Sunday?
I'm really excited. Like, you're always doing a self-scout. You're always looking at the prior game, but one thing that happens to you is you have so many good calls on a call sheet, and you practice them, and you almost think in your mind you've run them. And so it's great to go back and verify what you've actually called in a game, what a defense sees in you, and what they're studying, so you can get the right counters and you can lean into, again, what you've done well.